Everybody. Today I want to go over some problems on the balancing chemical equations number 2. This is the same type of assignment as I gave you last week. It's just more practice problems. Some people struggle with this, and it's vitally important you understand how to balance chemical equations to do any kind of chemistry, because later in this chapter we're going to talk about the different types of chemical reactions, and you need to understand how they balance with each other in order to basically understand how anything works. Okay, so I just picked some of the harder examples, 3, 7, 9, 10, 14, 15, and then I'll do a couple more. I just didn't have any board space for them. Okay, so I picked these ones again because they're harder. So again, you want to make sure you have the same number of each type of element on both sides of the equation. So here I see I have 8 sulfurs, here I see I have 1, and here I have 2 oxygens, here I have 3. Okay, now the first thing that goes through my head when I see this is, I'm going to start with the sulfurs. Again, I tend to leave oxygen and hydrogen to last. So to keep the sulfurs the same, I'm going to add an 8 there. Now you need to do some multiplication. 8 times 3, I have 24 oxygens on this side. So I need 24 on this side. So 2 times what number is 24? And the answer is 12. Okay, next one. I have 1 iron, 2 irons, 2 oxygens, 3 oxygens. Now, I know I said I tend to keep oxygen to last, but this one, when I see a 2 and a 3, I see one number's even, one number's odd, that should make a light bulb go off in your head. In order to make those two the same, I need to find the lowest common denominator between 2 and 3, which is 6. So 3 times 2 is 6, and 2 times 3 is 6. So at this point, I've balanced my oxygens, but I still have to do my irons. Here I have 4 irons, so I need 4 on this side. Okay, so that one was difficult because you just had to find the lowest common denominator. Okay, next one, I picked this one because hydrogen peroxide breaks to oxygen and water, but I want you to notice oxygen is found in 2 places on the product side. You have to keep that in mind. Okay, so I have 2 oxygens on the left and I have 3 on the right. So again, I have a 2 and a 3, an even and an odd number. I have to make them both even so that the 2 can go into it. So 2 can go into 4. So to do that, I want to add 1 more oxygen on this side. So now look, I have 2 oxygens here, 2 here. So 2 plus 2, I have 4 oxygens on this side. So over here, I need 2 times 2 to make 4. And when you do that, you'll notice the hydrogens automatically get balanced out. Okay, next one. This one's a little bit difficult. PCl5 reacts with water to form hydrochloric acid and phosphoric acid. Okay, so, that's an HCl. That's not a plus sign, or a hydrogen. Okay, so I immediately notice I have 5 hydrogens here, or 5 chlorines here, and only 1 here. Okay, so that would be my first step. I have 5 here, so I need a 5 over here. Okay, now, just like in the last problem, I have the element in 2 different spots. So I have hydrogens here and here. So if I do the math, I have 5 here, 3 here, so I have 8 total hydrogens on the right. So I need 8 on the left. So I need to put a 4 here. So 4 times 2 is 8. Okay, now I'm going to check my other elements. I have 4 oxygens. I have 4 oxygens. I have 1 phosphorus. I have 1 phosphorus. I'm good. Okay, next one. I have iron reacting with water to form Fe3O4 and H2. So first thing I notice, I have 4 oxygens here. I have 1 here. So to make them the same, I'll put a 4 there. Okay, now I notice I have 3 irons here, only 1 here. So I'll put a 3 there. Okay, and then lastly, I have 8 hydrogens here. Sorry, that's my cat. And I have 2 hydrogens here. So I have 8. I need 8 here, so I need to put a 4 there as well. Okay, and then the last one of these, I have H2S reacting with chlorine gas to form sulfur and HCl. Okay, so I notice I have 8 sulfurs here, so I need 8 over here. Now I notice I have 16 hydrogens here, so I need 16 hydrogens there. Now I have 16 chlorines, so I need 16 chlorines here. Okay, give me a second. I just need to erase these and do a couple more problems for you guys. You can pause it if you need to fill those in while I'm writing these next ones up. Give me 1 second. Okay, a couple more of the ones you just fill in. So I picked 16 and 29, and they'll do one of the last three, 35, 36, and 37. Okay, so this one I immediately, again, let's see here. I would start, I see I have 3 chlorines here, and I have 1 chlorine here. But now, again, there's some trial and error here. I suggest you use a pencil. Watch what happens. Don't write this down because you're going to see this is going to be wrong. If I do the rubidium or the chlorines first, like let's say I put a 3 there. I fixed the chlorine issue, but now look, I have 3 rubidiums on the right and 2 on the left. 2 and 3 don't go into each other, so I have to find the lowest common denominator, which in this case is 6. So I'm not going to actually jump ahead. I'm going to erase that 3. I'm going to make that a 6. So now I can come over here. My chlorines, I now have 6, so I need to make that a 2. I have 6 rubidiums on the right, so I need 6 rubidiums on the left, so I put a 3. Okay, then lastly, I check my options. I have 3 here. I have 3 here. Aluminums, I have 2 here. 2 here. I'm good. Okay, and the last one of these, ammonium nitrate decomposes into nitrous oxide and water. Okay, so I will immediately just make sure you notice I have 2 nitrogens here. I have them in 2 different spots. And over here, I have the oxygen in 2 different spots. So you got to keep those both in mind here. Okay, so I notice I have 3 oxygens on the left, and I have 2 on the right. Okay, so I have to change one of those. Which one? Do I want to add 1 more of these or 1 more of these? So let's look back over here. I have 4 hydrogens here and only 2 here. So I need to fix the hydrogens anyways. So let's do that. So when I put a 2 there, I now have 4 hydrogens, 4 hydrogens. Now let's look at my oxygens. I have 1, 2, 3, because I have 2 here. I have 3 here. Okay, now let's check my nitrogens. I have 2 here, 2 here. I'm good. Okay, now the ones on the bottom, this time I give you just a sentence. I want you to write the chemical equation and balance it. Okay, so it says potassium metal, so that's a K, reacts with water, H2O, to produce potassium hydroxide, KOH, and hydrogen gas. Let's just leave out the S, L, and G for solid liquid gas. I really want you guys to focus on writing equations and balancing for right now. Okay, so when I get the equation written out, I have to see if I'm balanced. So I immediately notice I have 2 hydrogens here, but over here I have 3. Look, I have 1 here and 2 more there. So I have 3 on the right. So I need to fix that. So again, I need to make it so the number's even so that I can get this 2 into a number that's divisible by 2. So I'm going to add a 2 here because when I do that, it gives me 2 hydrogens here, 2 here. So I have 4 hydrogens on the right. So that means I can come over here and make 4 hydrogens here. Okay, now when I do that, I want to check my options. I have 2 here. I have 2 here. I'm good. Potassiums, I have 1 here. I have 2 here. So I got to fix the potassiums by adding a 2 on the left. Okay, I know these take a little bit of practice and a little bit of time. Once you get the hang of them, you should be able to fly through a lot of the balancing problems. Again, I chose kind of the harder ones, so the ones that are left are on the easier side. If you guys have any questions, please let me know. You can also, if you guys don't have a printer, you don't have to print this out. Just write the equations on a piece of paper and just take a picture. Okay, you don't need a printer to do this, or if you really want, you can actually open this up in a Google Doc and just type the numbers in the blank spaces. That will work too. So you have 3 options for how to get this done. Okay, so let me know if you have any questions.